The first question, what is our 2025 revenue goal? We need to know how much money we want to make at the end of 2025, right? We could sit there and say that that goal is how much I want to report to the IRS that I made or my company made. It could be goals that I put here, ARR. So first bullet is I'm suggesting that you don't set an annual goal like we're going to make $5 million, but instead we're going to be at a $5 million run rate, which is basically we're going to be pulling in annual recurring revenue of $5 million. And so if you've got enough contracts that are bringing in that kind of money, then you can be at a 5 million rate. I like that kind of a goal instead of a hard number like we will make 20 or 5 million by the end of 2025, because the problem with a hard goal is every day you get closer to the end of the year, you have less and less chance to meet that goal, and everybody's really feeling the anxiety of not hitting it. But if you set an annual recurring goal of by the end of 2025 December, I want to be at a $5 million ARR, then what it means is that every single thing you do all the way up into November can contribute to you hitting that goal. You're never too late to hit that goal. Second thing you want to pay attention to about your revenue goal for 2025 is that if you don't have a goal, then you're just going to waste your time and effort. Similar to this guy on a ladder, right? The ladder of success comes from Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits for Highly Effective People. And in there, he talks about if you have a ladder up against a wall, of course, you can work hard and you can be really efficient at climbing that ladder and you can make progress, visible progress, but you're making progress in the wrong direction. You need to set a goal so that you make sure that your efforts and your team's efforts and those of us who want to help you, all of our efforts are driving towards your goal and not some random wall, right? So make sure that ladder's on the right wall. The last thing is make sure your revenue goal for 2025 is realistic. If you're a $5 million company, going to $6 million is incredibly realistic. Going to $8 million is realistic, and $10 million is like a stretch, right? But you're basing it on $5 million, and there's a good chance that you're keeping all of that $5 million as you go into the next year. But if you're brand new and you're just getting started, don't set a goal of $1 million or multi-million dollars. Instead, set a goal for 25% more than you would get in a regular job if you went and got a W-2 job. Because if you're just starting out, you just want to cover your own paycheck to begin, and then you start moving forward. So be realistic when you're setting the goal. There's nothing wrong with setting a stretch goal, but if you set it too far, then you're just planning to keep yourself miserable all year long as it relates to sales. But when you set a realistic goal, you could exceed it. All right, I put an example here for today's training in these 7 questions. I'm going to set the goal for 2025 that I want to set for our company of $5 million ARR, so annual recurring revenue, or $600,000 MRR. The reason I like breaking the annual recurring revenue down to monthly recurring revenue is why measure in years what you can measure in months? Then I can know quicker or sooner whether I'm getting closer to my goal or not. I don't need to measure the year if I can measure the month or the week or the day, right? So for revenue, I'm going to set it at $5 million ARR. And so just looking at that really quickly, that represents 25 full-time equivalent employees. And I put that down as if those employees were all billing out at $100 an hour, they would bring in $200,000 in revenue, and that would equal 25. So I've just got a couple of things in my mind. $5 million goal, it's going to take 25 people to do it. And monthly, it's a $600,000 bill rate. I need to have invoices of $600,000 going out every month to hit it, right? And again, because it's an ARR or recurring revenue, I don't need to do it in January or March. I can get to that goal.